Hey, Jerry. Hello. Where I'm going to present anywhere over there, so just
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
nice. That's what I need.
Testing, testing. How you doing?
Good. Have them talk.
Are we talking?
Test it.
Should I not whisper? I shouldn't whisper.
Test.
Can you turn it up? I can't hear you.
I haven't really been doing much with it, just clients and all that. I just haven't had time.
I'll be right back. I did nothing.
Yeah, great way of saying. See, I should have that. Is that on an app? You should be sitting there. It's like, sitting out, and I'll be like, no, not only on an app.
Ask you if they can send you push notifications.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly it. So the app does that. Now the web can do that. So you go to a website, and that's the problem. And now they're getting really annoying because it's all the news are like, would you like to get notified? It's like, not my news website.
Oh, the location one.
Oh yeah, all at once. Yeah. Yes.
It's even like if I'm going to my online banking or something. You don't need, I don't know. You don't need my
Yeah.
location.
T-Mobile does that. It's like, if I can log in, you know where I am.
Yeah,
What do you need to know if I'm now in Europe and logging on? I'm still the same customer. Is this working? All right, let's see. La.
Testing,
Yes.
testing.
See, that one works fine. This one. Yeah, one of those things like like Janet Jackson. Yes. Okay.
What am I doing with this? I can't hear you. I don't hear you. Step 1, turn it on.
Oh.
Oh, you can't do that.
Oh, I
Remember?
heard something.
Have him use that one, maybe.
Turn that one off for a second. Turn that one up. Turn that one off.
Yeah, that's it.
You're right. Hello, 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 hello. That one's on the same channel as this. So you have this.
What am I doing with
No, you're not doing anything. Right now it looks like it works fine. Unbelievable. Thank you, man.
Testing.
No problem, no problem. I thought we, I keep forgetting about that.
Put this one out anymore. We'll just use those two.
Perfect.
That's my
You gonna put it away?
emergency.
Yes. No. I like that. I like that. I like being prepared and running with it. It's awesome. Thank you. I'll be right back. If you hear me whizzing, I'll be back.
Testing.
I was wondering who was talking. Who was talking?
Whispering stuff into your.
This is the voice of God. All right, guys, if you just don't know, in the back there's pizzas, there's plates now, there's drinks. You should have drink tickets. If you didn't, did you get a drink ticket? Okay. Okay. So have a pizza, guys, and then we'll start in about 2 minutes. Actually, just so grab a slice now. Don't wait, and then we'll start momentarily. So if you guys are hearing me, the Wi-Fi is, there's a username and password. It's spaces guest is the username. I'm sorry, is the Wi-Fi. And I'll give you guys the username password is co-working. Password is co-work 0605. 01? Thank you. 0601. Huh? I guarantee you're right. You are. You are right. Never say you're wrong. So first of all, choose the spaces guest. Okay. Okay. Guys, for this presentation, I'd like for you guys to get online. So if you have a phone or you have a laptop, this is the Wi-Fi password in the front of the room. Oh, we ran through the napkins already, huh? For those of you who didn't get a napkin, there's now a napkin near the pizzas. Can you steal one more of these?
Smells good.
Well, you have to grab them then. Still on? No, it's not. They can't hear me. Not that they know what I think of them. All right, guys, so we're going to start. If you guys want to take your seats. Amanda. Oops, I forgot my mic. Hold on. Jeremy, can you bring the mic? I need the mic. Yes.
Do you need the mic?
Testing, testing.
Thank you. Hey everyone. I know most of you by now, but if we don't know each other, come say hi. My name is Jason Walkow. I'm one of the founders of Taliance, the logo in the middle. We're an IT consulting firm. We do staffing and recruiting. I'm also a developer, so if anybody here is looking for a job or looking to hire, I have the ability to actually understand what you're looking for on both sides. So I'm a JavaScript developer, Node, React, and AWS a little bit these days. So definitely come on over, say hi after. the talk. And Damian, as always, looking forward to your talk. And thanks everyone for coming.
Thank you. All right, thank you guys. So as you guys know, here's Amanda.
Hey, good evening, everyone. My name's Amanda. I'm here with the venue and the co-working space, Sendine Spaces. So if any of you work from home or find yourself in a coffee shop or you need a place to meet with someone, we offer different workspace solutions, whether you need something by the hour, part-time, full-time. We have private offices, co-working, and virtual options. We just opened some more offices here and some dedicated co-working space. So if you're interested, I'd love to show you around or give you a tour. And if you want to stop by one time, mention Boca JavaScript and you'll get a free week of co-working. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys for coming. As you guys know, Boca.js meets once a month, and we're going to be changing that. We are still meeting the first Tuesday of the month, but coming on the 20th, we're going to have a second meeting. So we'll try to do this 2 times a month. I think we had a couple of you guys telling me that this was a little bit too advanced, or this was a little bit too boring. So because you are way more advanced, so I wanted to sort of split it up to more advanced topics. And today, I'm hopefully going to blow away. If anybody knows more than me on this, and I didn't know any of this 3 days ago, I will be impressed. Because I had a really hard time with this, and so I want to tell you everything about this, and I think you guys are impressed. On the next couple of days, so as you guys know, we're meeting in Sendine Spaces. Amanda's there. If you want to figure out what a co-working space is, she'll give you free tickets. Can't beat that. You're getting one of the best recruiters out there, and that's why you're having pizza. That's why you have the drinks. So thanks, Jason, for that. And all right. And you guys have some brochures, and there's some brochures in the back from TK2 Academy. TK2 Academy will be hosting us on the 20th for what I'll be talking about in just a second. I don't know, I mean, I'll speak about this later, but I'm Damian Montero, if you guys don't know me already. I'm the organizer of Boca.js. Some of the other organizers kind of dropped off, but I'm still the organizer. Probably going to be bothering that gentleman up back there, which is the organizer of Palm Beach Tech, to help me with this. And so all he has to do is come over, 1 hour every single day south just to be here, that. So hopefully we'll do that. If you guys don't want to know more about Palm Beach Tech, if that's closer to you guys, we have the URLs to go to the website here, and also the QR codes if you're too lazy to type the URL. So check this out. So everybody know about Code Camp? It's happening so if you just type in sfcodecamp.com, I didn't put it up there. It's happening in the February 10th, as in this Saturday. Definitely register, definitely show up. I'll be doing a talk there, and there'll be several talks. Of course, Jeremy will be doing another one, and you'll see a lot of talks about this. If you guys have gone to Code Camp, you can thank this gentleman right here for a brand new website that makes my app, and yes, I made the app for the Code Camp, look like nothing, because the website now looks fantastic. So check out the website, sfcodecamp.com, or check out, actually you have, if you sign up to the Boca.js. Anybody know this group from just a friend or something and didn't receive an email to say to come here? If you didn't, go to Boca, that's fine, thank you. And well, you can just ask your husband and all that, so that's cheating and so on. You said you didn't, so you can ask your husband, and he'll tell you when it's coming up here. But if you haven't, go to bocajs.org.com, and then you'll find more information about it, including this event. So you'll get an email saying on the Saturday we're having an event. This is the event, with the details about the event in there. Let's see that. Hello, hello, hello. This is the event. Can you guys hear me okay? Still the same? It's all right? All right. If you can't hear me, raise your hand. Ah, the old trick. Never happened. Okay, so Boca.js beginners meetup. That's on the 20th. That's going to be across the street, not here. So we'll try to figure out if that works for you guys. So there'll be a lot of beginner meetups going on across the street, and then we'll have the professional meetups here. Feel free to come to either one. You're going to meet up and socialize with the people that you've been socializing with, that know the answers to the questions you have, or that you are the answers to the question I have. So do come to this meetup as well as all the other ones as well. February 24th. Everybody interested in $2,500? Anybody can't use $2,500? You can give it to me if you win the hackathon, because I can't win. I'm one of the coaches there at the Palm Beach Hackathon. Check out palmbeachtech.org/hackathon for more information. Top prize is $2,500. Not as good as the one I won back in, well, let's say a long time ago in Las Vegas. That was $5,000. All right, yes, that's the other coach. I'm sorry, Jeremy. That's the other coach, so you have top people there to help you. If you feel you can't give us something you can produce to win it, we disagree with you. We can make your app, your idea, and help you get it done. If not, there's going to be a million other people to do it. So, Jeremy and I will be there for that. Talk to Jeremy if you have any questions. Speakers. I'm the organizer. Why in the world am I speaking? Because I love this subject. But I know you guys feel the same about one particular subject, and you're thinking about it right now. Go ahead and contact me. I know one of you guys already did. He's not here. So contact me. Let me know. If you go to the Meetup page, or you'll find me on Twitter under my full name. You'll see it at the end of the presentation. Okay? Talked all day, but this is me. You haven't realized what it is. So my Twitter my Twitter is Damian Montero, all one word, at Twitter. Been here for 19 years in the web and mobile. I have 5 hackathon wins. That's why they don't let me play anymore. I'm certified by Microsoft as C# and HTML5. That's all that slide said. Didn't say anymore. Guys, this is going to be tough. This presentation is going to be either over your head or you're just going to barely figure it out. If you can tell me something I'm cloudy on, please let me know. That's what the microphones are here for. I'm not here to teach you guys and you to just simply absorb. We're here to communicate and figure out what's going on in there. So, come on. Drink ticket? It's right there for you. This, thank you. Oh, I appreciate that, Chairman. See, that's why I want him to make another organizer, because he wants to volunteer to help out and all that. So we've had him present several times, and the presentations have gone over my head and all that. So this is my GitHub page. More importantly, if you add web push example, and you will want to do this, you will get all the examples we'll be using there. You can literally npm install, npm start, and your example will work with a caveat, and I'll explain what the caveat is a little bit later. So if you want, this will come up a little bit later, but just be aware of that. There's a screenshot you can take a little bit later that will have all the links and all the details we'll talk about here. So what's the problem I'm solving, right? Anybody is teaching you something, trying to present you something, trying to convince you should answer that question. What am I solving? This is notifications. You guys all pull out your phones, no matter which phone it is, it has this. Even if it's an old ass Nokia. They all have had it for a long time. These are notifications that you get from WhatsApp, from Tinder. I know you guys are out there. Half of you guys are out there. The other half are women. And you know, you will get some notifications and you know what's going on. And this is normally reserved for applications. Well, we're here to tell you otherwise. And let's talk about that. This, you know, this presentation has to do with also with things like, why is there a web? Why is there an app? Why is there a difference? What makes a difference? And normally, this is the thing that we can show you guys there. It's probably a little bit hard to read. You guys have a link to the slides, by the way, on the Meetup page. If you go to meetup.com/bokeh.js, you'll see the slides if you're interested in following along yourselves, or just simply watch the screen. In the web, updates are easy. You just publish it, and boom, every single person has your particular version. Twitter, mobile.twitter.com is always up to date. They don't have to wait for you to update it on your phone, or you deny their updates, or not be available for updates, or you have a newer or older phone. But they have all these wonderfulness that they can do on the apps that they can't. Notifications, working offline in airplane mode, fast, it's responsive, gyroscope, little Pokemon Go, Compass as well. Well, I can tell you that we've had some advancements in the web, if you haven't realized it yet. We have web notifications. Now, I want to specify what that is. It is, and this I'll say slowly so it really sinks in. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. I allow this website to push notification to me. I close the browser. I reboot my computer. The website wants to notify me of something, the notification pops up. Let that sink in for 1 second. You didn't open the website. Your client isn't, the website isn't open. They accepted, they have permissions, you accepted it, and you got this notification. In the example above, as you can see there, there's nothing open. They did not have Chrome browser open, they did not have Firefox open, it's nothing. Now if it's open, it still works. If you're on the website, it's still there. But this will change what you're looking at. Over there, you guys needed to do it, something like that. This is how you're going to do it. Let me explain to you the basics of notifications of anything. I could be sitting here talking to a bunch of iPhone developers or Android developers, mobile developers, Windows Phone developers, Windows WPA developers. It's the same thing. My device on number one communicates to Google, Apple, or Microsoft. They get a token, a URL that's unique to that device and that request from your service, from your app. I communicate that token to the server, and whenever the server's ready to say, that Tinder person you were looking for is now looking for you, let me let you know that. That Bitcoin price you were looking for, it hit. Time to sell. Boom. That email you wanted to know about, that client you wanted to be notified when they went to your website, the web server, the application server, will notify the cloud. That is apple.com, google.com, microsoft.com, firefox.com, a third-party provider. I don't mean these third-party providers like Firebase and all that provide a push notifications for you. I mean the big guys, the guys that the phone, in this case, connected to. They will then notify the device will pop up a message. This is important to know because there is some steps that make the web differently. I'll go through this to let you guys know what it is. I think it's important for you guys to understand the difference with it. The difference is that the client that we both saw a second ago, the client, the notification server, and the app server become 5 things. Our website, our client is a browser. That's the user agent that you see there. Well, when I go in the future talk about user agents, think about the browser itself, Chrome, Firefox in this situation. Service workers in JavaScript, in web. How many of you guys have created, used, or at your company have a web server? Web service, I'm sorry. Web service worker, I'm sorry. You guys done service worker in the past? You guys have? Perfect. So you guys know this is a little bit of a magic. These are JavaScript applications that are created by a website and reside independent of the website. And they kind of act as if they're always running, even after they left the website. Or if the website's up, the web page will turn it on and it will be alive, regardless of whether you're on the website. This is needed for web notifications. Do you guys want to see this? You don't want to see this. Let me go a little bit details. Again, you'll need to know this because when we go through the code, you'll see these steps happen. So these are the same 5 at the very top. And if you can picture it, if you're interested, you can see what's going on. The web page asks the browser, I would like to create a web service, a web worker, service worker. The browser returns and says, here you go, I've been given the right by the operating system. Here you go, you have a web server, a service worker, pardon me. I grab the service worker and say, you going? Service worker and say, I want it to know about push notifications. So I communicate the web service to the push service. This is, again, not a third party. You guys know this company. It's what your device connects to. Apple, Google, Microsoft, Firefox. No other people exist other than those, right? Every single iPhone in the world connects to Apple for its push notifications. Every single Android phone, no matter what, connects to Google, except the ones in China. There's a long story behind that. Let's just go say. So that device tells and gives it a token, a unique ID, that's all it is, that says your web page plus this device together make this token. I then communicate that token to the server. I finally, on the server end, get something. All this thing has been going back and forth in the web service and the browser, and I haven't seen anything about it. Now, I'm going to talk about what happens at the end when I want to send you a push notification. Before I do that, do you guys have any questions? No questions either means that you totally understood it or it went over your head. Either which way, I love it. I do have questions and time for questions and answers and all that. So stop me at any time with questions.
Stop.
Please.
No, I was just kidding. Sorry.
That was a question.
Continue.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said, we shouldn't have given you a microphone. If you guys want the microphone, you gotta reach in and fight him over it. Okay. So the magic has happened. I am on the server side. My application server on Azure, the cloud, my box, whatever, has a token. I can now do something about it. I can now communicate with Apple, Google, Firefox, Windows, Microsoft. I communicate, if you see on the bottom, my app server being on the far right, I communicate with the push service. I don't have a way to communicate with the browser because the browser only communicates even with WebSockets, with anything like that, only communicates if I'm literally connected to that website. The moment I'm not connected, I don't have any, the browser, the web server, has no way to get to all your devices. We'll prove that in just a minute. I communicate with push server and I send it a package. It includes a token and I certify that. I encrypt it. You know, library does it. I do some things, it sends it the key, it sends it. That information is sent to the browser. If it needs to, the browser sort of starts up because it was closed. It could be that way. Finds out which service worker, that little bit of JavaScript that works in the back end, that's a little bit of magic, it's a headless, no UI, turns it on and says, hey, one of the things you were allowed to do is receive notifications. You may be able to do a lot of things, but notifications is what we're talking about right now. So we're going to say that you're going to get a push event. And the service worker is going to go and say, push event, I know what to do with it. Hey, browser, send to the operating system, I want to notify it, and with this information. We'll look at what we can send and what other options it is. And then finally, and that's not really true, if you notice, it's a very good point, the web browser, the web page isn't ever initiated. In the example you'll see it kind of is, but it never needs to be there. Your website doesn't have to be there. Because the notification may be, hey, go check the other website, or go check your puppy has just escaped from its cage. Okay, I don't need to go to a website to know that. I just be notified. Any questions about that? Kind of, yes.
The browser doesn't need to be running for this to work.
Correct.
But it will start it up.
It will start a little tiny instance of itself, look up at whatever service worker it needs to, instantiate it, tell it, hey, you have a push notification, run all your JavaScript within it, and it will run. And one of the things it will do in our example, and it could do other things, small number of things, because it has no UI, is send a notification. It can be anything. Great question. So, any ASP.NET fans? Okay, it can be ASP.NET, Core, Ruby, Go, thank you, Perl, PHP, even PHP. It can be Node, and this is the JavaScript, so we'll show you guys the backend in Node, but it doesn't have to be Node. The libraries can do anything. In fact, you can hit the URL, go through all the steps yourself. So if you created your own language tomorrow, you can still hit it. And I'll go into a little bit of details about that, but we'll see if you guys are interested in the details about that. Yes, 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 yes. Great question. So if each one of the devices, now there's a caveat here, iPhone no, but let's pretend that iPhone yes, or Android, or Firefox, or this browser, or that Macintosh, or this Windows, all of them submit not only a token, there's a little bit of details, but you asked for it, also where they are, which application server, which push service they're going to get to. So I get handed both a token and the URL to get to that push notification. And we'll talk about that later. Great question. But you'll see it. So if your iPhone hits it, I record it as I have to go to Apple. If my Android phone hits it, I record it that I have to hit Google. Right? How I hit it is a different question. But that's what I have to record. You'll see more details in a minute. In fact, This used to be a caveat. I got to remind you, on the web, everything's about permissions. We talked about that. The GPS needs permissions. This needs permission. The pop-up needs permissions. Notification needs permissions. But actually now with most mobile apps, with Android 7, since 7.0 and 8 and 8.1 and iOS 7, they've all needed for you to agree to receive notifications. Just be aware of it, especially right now, because I'm going to show you guys a demo, and you guys are all going to be able to sign up and see notifications live. And the first thing you're going to see is that permissions. Speak of the devil. Can you guys do me a favor? Bring out your phones, take out your laptops, go to this website, see if you can remember demo.bocajs.org, and go to the website. The first thing you will see is what you see on the top right corner of menu pointing over there, which is, do you want to allow push notifications? Say yes. We won't see anything else in there. You'll probably see the words, we are ready for push notifications. I'll do that myself. You got a notification already? Now, if you did a pop-up that said, do you want to allow, that's different. Yes, sir. Yes. Great question. You can do both. Yes, yes, yes. Can you send specific notifications to specific clients and groups to everybody? So the answer is yes, by you repeating to everybody the same word, right? So there's no broadcasting as I am to you guys. If I have to say the word, you know, it's broken telephone, the difference is I tell to each one of you individually. But, so yes, the answer is specifically to you, and we'll talk about that and how it is that I know that it was your client that has. And so I don't want to just tell everybody, hey, we have a match. And what I meant was, you have a match, right? We'll talk a little bit about that. Yes? Yes, sir. Demo, as in we're doing a demo, .bocajs, as in where you are, .org, as in org. Yes. Here's the problem. iPhones are not compatible. And I'll talk about that. I have a solution for you guys. By the way, the solution is going to be, I want to always show you guys vanilla code. I want to show you guys what it's doing, not tell you I personally like this particular library that does everything, including iPhones. So that one will fail on the iPhone. Thank you for trying. Even if you use Safari or, even in Safari it will fail. Even if you use Chrome on the iPhone, it will fail because it's underneath Safari, or Firefox on the iPhone. Again, it's underneath Safari by Apple's rules. So what's failing is Safari on Apple. Now, there is a solution for it, and we'll talk about it a little bit about it. So, but on your Chrome, on your Mac, on your Chrome, on your Chromebook. By the way, I don't know if you guys, I've said this before, but it bears repeating. I got so mad at people saying, oh, but that only works on, and then they would name the device that would come in here, because I would come in with a Windows phone, a Windows laptop, and then the next day I would come in with a Mac laptops. So on purpose, today I came in with a Chromebook, okay? It doesn't, what you're gonna see here doesn't matter, and here it doesn't make too much sense, but you guys have seen me do other things, and you're like, oh, that's because he has a Mac, that's because he has a Windows, that's because he has a Linux box. It doesn't matter what you have. Any of the things I've ever been presented here do not rely on you having a particular device, right? Regardless of which device you like to use or whatever. So you guys all went there? Can you guys put your that? Do you have my phone? Can you just put the volume up? Yeah, great. The one time we have no Wi-Fi. Sorry, guys. So you guys, if you scroll down, and unfortunately it didn't come up here, you guys should have seen what you're seeing on the bottom right on my screen. Now you're going to have a different version of it. This is Chrome, so it appears on the bottom right. You Mac people will have it appear on the top right corner. The Windows people will have it in the notification panel on the right-hand side. Your phone people, both Android and iPhone, not iPhone, you're right. Android people will be able to swipe down and see it at the top. If it didn't beep, you will see it in a couple of seconds, because 29 of you guys signed up. according to what I got there. Say it again. Yes, absolutely. But they're not following the web push API standard. They're doing their own. Which, if you ever done an iPhone app, it's the exact same thing. You create the push notification on the developer portal, and then you go through the same API. The same API. You make a little bit of JavaScript difference. You have an ASPN call, a URL, and you just send that token with your certificate signed, and you will work that way. So you can actually, so if you already have like a iPhone token, iPhone notification sent for the iPhone apps, you just literally put the token in that same queue, and the web, the Safari will turn on and do the full notification, just like you're seeing here and all that. And I'll show you guys the link to that and all that. It's pretty much the same thing, other than a million certificates. Nope. You guys want to know how I did that? Interested? Let's look at the code. Can you guys see it from back there? Not from way back there. Well, you're a young guy. You can see it, right? No problem? I have a drink ticket for you if you guys want. Okay. So I'm going to start with the simplest thing. Remember, there was your phone, your web page, and we'll look at that in a second, the service worker, and backend code. Now, if you guys have ever heard of this, you guys heard of the manifest.json file? Does that ring a bell, that file? Okay, so if it doesn't, it should. There's a lot of the app functionality, this being one of them, requires what essentially is a file that you'll never, well, you'll see that the code refers to it here, but really the browser looks for it, picks it up, and wants to know details about it, including sometimes the icon, and for the iPhone, it's that. You have a lot of things in the manifest, and including the public key that we'll see in a second. So that manifest has to be there. You'll see it in the GitHub page, but don't worry about it right now. Let's just look at what the service worker looks like. It's quite simple. So the service worker, truly, all it would need is this, and this is just boilerplate. This is a low amount of code, number of lines that you will see, all boilerplate. Here I am in this particular line. I'm looking for the text that was coming back in the package, in the JSON file that I got from the push notification server. Remember, my application server, in this case the phone that was connecting to a server out there, sent it to Google, in my case. Google then sent it over itself to the browser. The browser woke up the service worker, and it sent the information. And I've chosen to put just a plain text message in there. It could have been a JSON package. It could have been a lot of information. They would have had a URL, a text, an icon, and you'll see that I choose an icon. The icon's reference is related to where the service worker lives. So service worker lives in the root of my website, so it goes /icon. You see it on the sort of 3 lines down. I have a title, a body, and the tag is used a little bit later to know what's going on. Now, to answer your question, the tag, there's nothing in here that says which ID it got hit. We took care of that in the background. So I got this message on this device because I sent it to all devices. But I could have made a choice and sent it only to this device here and not each one of you guys there. Now, did some of you guys get the notification? Okay, perfect. You didn't? You have an iPhone? You have on a laptop and was it Chrome or Firefox? Okay. We'll look at it later. Check out on the right-hand side on notifications to see if it comes in there. You'll see the Boca.js logo. Okay. And as you can see there, it just says show notification. Yes? No. So the tag is just a way for when, it's just a way for you to keep track of certain things for later after you're notified. But at this moment, if you got notified, it's because your client specifically needed to get notified. Okay? So that's it. If you nothing but that, the notification would come in and you would see the notification. What I have below, whoa, that's fast, is code. This is Visual Studio Code if anybody's interested in the editor. Notification click, and down there is notification close. And if you look at this line right here, if you guys did click on the notification, you would have gone to my GitHub page that I mentioned a little bit earlier. So if you guys who did see that and you want to click on that, you'll be redirected to a web page. You could have done much more than just redirect to a web page, but that's what we did in this example. Guys, that's it for the notification. Now
Damian,
that's not
what
it
is
for
self?
all of it. Yes, sir. Ah. I don't know why we do self in here. It's a service worker itself. A service worker as the object. And all that. I believe, I'm not too sure, Jeremy. I don't know why it's particular self. I don't know if I was able to not do that by itself. I'm not sure. You know these things. Talk to me if you know what it is. We don't have to instantiate self. No, well, I mean, this is just a JS file, right? So I would think that we've instantiated ourselves as a service worker. You'll see in a minute as I have to register, it has to live by itself. The word self is not related to what you just asked about it. I don't know your answer, Jerry. This is a manifest file. Again, it's not that interesting. If you want to see what in my manifest file, you'll notice that it's very little bit of code, and it seems to be generic, the user, the implication name, things like that. The registration API seem to need it there. So. Great question. So anything on the web, you never know when it's going to be alive and when it's going to die. There's no time zone. The user can, by itself, clean it up. So we'll look at that, and you'll notice that the code seems to ask for permissions, but if you reload the page, you'll notice that it doesn't seem to ask for permission again, even though the code looks like it's asking each time. And the code will by itself take care of it. If it has been deleted, ask again. Because at any point, the user with anything could delete it. One thing to be aware of, I don't know if you guys are aware about it, sometimes as I do testing, I will be logging on and I want to go to private mode as my way to clearing the cache, clearing the cookie, clearing the IndexedDB. And that last thing is a trick. On the Mac and on the iPhone, there is no databases in private mode. Ever. Even the next line after you've created it. So if you guys are doing something in private mode and it's behaving strangely, just be aware of that. It's not you, it's private mode on the Safari browser. I'm guessing on, oh yeah, on Windows as well. So if you guys didn't click or anything like that, if you didn't go like, aha, that was the problem, don't worry about it, you will. That's what we had in the past, okay? That's nothing related to this. Jeremy, what's this called when we should never check the version, but we should check the property of the browser? What's it called? As JavaScript programmers, we should never assume that the browser we're on, after we found out which browser it is, has a particular package, a particular service, a particular object, or not, particular functionality. Feature query? Okay. So as always, make sure that you check that you have, oops, sorry guys, a little bit of high there. I'm checking whether notification is available. Now notification, for example, is not available on the iPhone. They use a different way of doing it. So that's what you saw over there when you guys tried the iPhone. You will see this message, and this is what's happening here. Look at it each and every single time we ask for permissions. We ask for permissions, but we don't ever get that sort of prompt. Once it's done, the ask for permission is taken care of. So we can simply ask for permissions over and over again. Now what you can do is check that next line. Permission denied or permission allowed. Let's check for the opposite of permission denied. You've denied it, so be prepared of that. Every single thing on the web that allows permissions, you should be programming as if someone, and test that someone blocked your permissions. Okay? So just be aware of that. Service worker. I'm checking also if I have service worker. If I do, I'm going to register a server worker. Okay? So first, I'm telling the browser, hey, I want to know if you are allow me, do you have a function of service workers? I'm going to now give you a file to be the service worker. This is where I think the self refers to itself. To the service worker, registration as an object. I will then give it some information. I'm going to go into this details a little bit later, but don't worry about it. What you're seeing my code that you won't see in your GitHub is the fact that I have a key, and I show you in the GitHub repo how to get that key, okay? This is so that my service worker can connect to my server on the back end, even though I'm not going to be connecting to it through, I'm going to go through Google to get to it, and it's going to go through me. So how do we know that they're each other's? This key is that. But let's not go into too much detail. Just know about it. There's a key involved in there, private and public key, of course. Once I have the service worker and I've confirmed I have it, I will subscribe to it, essentially saying, hey, service worker, I want you to have the functionality of push to receive a notification. I now then communicate that with the browser. Browser itself figures out where it needs to connect to, goes to that server. Chrome goes to Google, even though it's on a Mac. Firefox goes to Firefox, et cetera, et cetera. In the future, the Safaris will go to Apple. They come back with, to get back to your question, a URL where I can submit a request to, a token that's unique to this device and my website, so that I can make your app notify only my app, even though we both had him open it up on our browser, but different URLs. So I should not be able to notify about your app. He should not be able to see notifications except for my app going to his website. So here I didn't mean to put it on another line, and then I just do fetch method post, and I send that information. You guys a favor, I could have just grabbed, I could have did a demo kind of thing, grab the subscription, shove it into the post, and good luck. I didn't. I instantiated my own object called fields, as you can see there. Essentially, field just copies what the fields is getting, and I submitted it back to my server. Okay? Any questions about that? Now, I'm going to show you guys what I did on the server. There ain't too much about the server. Boilerplate, opening up a web server in Node. There's the code, right? All right. Here, oops, sorry. Here is a very simple boilerplate type of information where I'm going to receive that post, again from the client. In this case, it's the same server, but whatever, it could be some different server. I'm going to receive that information. I'm checking if it's Safari. I don't do anything if it is iPhone, because I know on the front end they've been notified, sorry, you don't get anything. And then I'm going to go ahead and add it to an array. And here is a very simple way of doing what you talked about, because I'm adding it to the array, and I could not only add the token, the auth, which is a private public key kind of thing, the URL, but also what makes this person unique. They've logged in, I have a username for this person. They took a picture, I have something that's unique about them. Something that's unique about the browser gets communicated here, and then I can make a choice of adding to the token list, in this case, should have been like browser list, sorry guys, URL array that I'm going to simply loop later on. If I go up to the top, I'm giving away my secrets. On the iPhone, all I did is went to the same website you guys did, /notify, boilerplate code that you can see there, traverses through a little for loop of each one of the token lists. You see at the very bottom of the code, and boilerplate again to use the particular web push in the Node sense. That's what the library is called. You guys would have different libraries for these different backend servers. But there's nothing to it. I received the information, wrote it down in an array locally, could have saved it in a database, but this is a demo. When I was told to notify, I grabbed that array, parsed through it, and sent each individual person a notification. And no, you can't broadcast to everything, but you can broadcast to everybody the same message. And you're kind of broadcasting to everybody. And the systems in notifications are magic. So I don't know if I started this, but you guys have phones. And you guys don't want the phones to ever die with the batteries. If your Tinder and your Gmail and this and this and this and this and this all were constantly checking their own servers to see if they had a message, or constantly being like heartbeated so that they know, your phones would die by noon, perhaps by 10 o'clock in the morning. This is the solution to this. Once you register, the browser is doing its magic because it never touches our server in the back end ever again. And when our server is ready to send a message to the browser, that is the only time the device is pinged, checked, and all that. One last thing to note. You don't know if the notification reached the client. So you can make a choice of having the service worker ping back the server, I got it. If that's important to you, make sure you do that. Make sure that the service worker reaches back saying, I got your notification, and the client clicked on it, and the client dismissed it, and the client closed it. One last thing. You guys know on the iPhone you can't do this anymore, but on the Android you still can go and say, you know what, all the notifications gone. Your dismiss, your close won't fire. If they specifically close yours without opening it, you get notified. If they close all of them, you don't get notified. So you want to have that. If you need to know whether the client received it and need to know whether the client clicked on it, make sure you fire off events inside the service worker back to this user. Okay? Guys. No, and it never was meant to be. Its purpose, like the fact that your iPhone, when it gets a bit old, gets lowered in speed, is to save energy, and it's to save battery. So it's more concerned with accepting all your requests and trying to figure out, because mobile just works that way. You'd never know when the mobile's updated, because the mobile device may be connected, but not really to the internet. Those, as we all know, we connect to the Wi-Fi and we forget the password, or it needs one of those captcha pages. Your phone may have like that, what people call Li-Fi instead of Wi-Fi, because it has one bar, maybe not one bar, which means it's not going to be offline, but it's not online. So because of that, the mobile devices don't ever really know. So you have to be proactive about it. Sometimes you don't care. Sometimes you're like, hey, you know what, user, whenever you're cool with it, check your email, it's in there. But you want someone to come because the server is on fire and you're using this as one of the clients Dave has this requirement, then you want to make sure that you notify when the user has gotten it by having the service worker go back to your application server, I got it. You want to tell the user that when they clicked on OK, you want to tell the user that. You want to tell the app server that. When they dismissed it, you want to tell the app server that. You do whatever you want after that, right? You can automatically fire the person with the little API to the HR department, but whatever. You make a choice after that. But the notification server cannot be trusted. So, in conclusion, we thought we had no notification. Boom, I showed you guys your notification. In fact, we have all these things on the web, and we'll talk about that in another presentation. Questions? Or did I just blow your mind? There are only 3 lights. So. Yes. The difference of those APIs. So, the Apple one? Apple one is listed right there. So go to x.co/applepush. You get the notification on it. I can explain to you how Apple notification works. It's the same way as the iPhone app does and all that. But we can probably have a personal, if you guys can have a lot of questions, you can personally have a personal question about it. I couldn't demo in it because I wanted to show you guys the web official API format to do it and all that. But if you follow that link, it's an Apple doc, so it's 30 paragraphs to explain one line of code, but you will get exactly what you're looking for. By the way, if you seriously, give me 1 second. If you seriously are looking into a solution for this, there are third-party libraries like, Firebase, Pusher, and all these type of things that will take care of all this for you. Microsoft mobile services and all that. Does that answer your question?
So, as a developer, I know how to clear my cache and how to clear my local DB and all this other stuff. How do I, as a user, undo I've accepted the push notification?
That's an excellent question. I mean, I could show you how in the browser there's all the local storage. The local storage is how this is done.
This is a local storage thing?
It is.
But if I, as a user who don't know how to do that, how do I unsubscribe from that? How do I turn that off?
As a programmer, I don't know if you could do that. I don't know if you could, there has to be an unsubscribe way. No, but I'm guessing you're asking, as a proper developer on the back end, how do I do it, or how would you do it on your?
No, so it's like I know how to do it because I can go into the browser tools and like clear my cache in my databases.
Right.
But my mother's not going to be able to do that. She doesn't know the system, so how would she like when she like signs up for all these things and doesn't realize what she's signing up for?
Buys
how
a
does
new
she
laptop.
go through and say, I don't want this one anymore?
Buys a new laptop.
Just burn it and start over.
Wow. So let's check out what Jason's saying over here. Whoop. Yep. Nice. Very interesting. Now, would I be more interested as a developer? Yeah, absolutely. What I'd be more interested as a developer is how to undo that for the user. So the user is deciding not to get notified. They don't want to get notified yourself.
It's
As
like
a responsible developer, you want to achieve that goal.
It's like an unsubscribe button on an email.
Absolutely.
Where's this feature?
Yes. Absolutely. Ah, you ruined the surprise. So, any more questions? All right, and I'm here for that. We have plenty of time for that. Yes, sir. Interesting. Yeah. I can't think of the analytics suites won't have any knowledge of it other than they know that a particular API endpoint would be hit a lot, and you have you can't have analytics on there unless they're back-end analytics. There is no real way to do it, but you're in full control, right? I mean, the user will notify that that's a case. You can somehow have a unique ID that based on a cookie, because the user probably won't get rid of cookies, but you can say, well, this cookie was started, so therefore you know you submitted that cookie. So therefore the user got it, and it never got the notification back, so you know that they never said yes, right? You also have, the moment that they say no, you still have fetch, you still have Ajax. So you can notify yourself manually, unlike what you're asking, saying, no, this particular user didn't notify. And you can simply ask the user again, or warn the user, the purpose of this app is for you to get notifications. If you say no to that, it was probably a mistake. The only problem is, I think that if you ask again, it automatically, and there is a checkbox that says never ask me again, it just doesn't ask you again. So you have a problem with a user that has by mistakenly blocked you. If they blocked you, that's fine. By the way, you don't have to, in the example I did, I made a huge UI mistake, an interface mistake, which is the second you hit me, I'm asking for permissions. You've seen that in bad websites. You've seen that in news paper websites. That's awful. You guys as developers should achieve a better goal, a better state of mind by saying to the user, are you interested in receiving this particular news up to date? Are you interested in knowing when this particular other user that you're tracking on Facebook logs on? Let me know. And have them initiate that. You'll have a lot more people happy with the notifications you now have. You've been rewarded by a connections rate to that user. Give that reward back by offering something to the user saying, are you interested in this? Let the user initiate the request and all that. So, did I answer your question? More or less? Okay. Yeah, there's no analytics they can do because it's all back-end stuff and all that. So, all right. The official documentation is x.co/pushapi. These links are in the meetup.com/BocaJS website in today's event. The slides are there. You can see these slides. You will, you can take a picture of this. The Apple Web Push will do is at the bottom. My GitHub to do exactly what you have in here is here. A wonderful video from Google explaining exactly what's going on, how to do it, with some of the examples you'll see in my code is there listed as well. All right, I think it's good. Thank you, guys. So 1 hour, all right. So I showed you guys demo.boca.js. I was so happy about it because all the other meetups are like, oh, just go to this URL, and you're typing, Caroline. I have one better for you guys. We got some gift cards to give away. In this case, only one. But I want you guys to try something new. You tried my website. This doesn't even need for you to accept a notification. Go to win. You can't even see that, right? Can you? win.bocajs.org. Go on your laptop, go on your phone, go on anything like that. win.bocajs.org. Because if you want to win, yep, you will get a raffle ticket.
So if I use 2 browsers, do I get 2 tickets?
Yes, you do. But now you gave away to everybody else instead of giving it yourself. And I have more phones than you. Now I win, I get to keep the ticket. So, let's see. Is it true that 0 of you, no. Is there 24 of you guys? Did anybody not sign up? win.bocajs.com. .org. Anybody go to win.com? Win, as in you want to win something, W-I-N, .bocajs, as in what you're in here right now, .org, as in I didn't have the .com. You get it? Okay. Everybody got it? You can sign up too? All right. All right. Rum roll. Can you guys look at your phone? Can you guys see the number? Can you guys turn up your volume? I think I see the volume wasn't working. Look at your number. Because somebody won. Anybody's number turned red? Hold up your phone. No one? Oh, man. Seriously, no one 19? Somebody won that. Yay! That doesn't count. You're not part of the meetup group. You got to join the meetup group to win and all that. So, thank you guys. That's it. Amazon gift card from the Palm Beach Tech sponsor. We didn't get that sponsor, but they did. We'll get you guys O'Reilly books and PHP WebStorm on the next meetup. Guys, this meetup happens next month. This meetup happens every first Tuesday of the month. Come and join us here, and thank you guys for coming. There's no pizza left. I was going to say there's pizza left, so that's what you were waiting for. Too late. Thank you, guys.